Have you ever tried explaining government efficiency to a toddler? Well, you might as well describe quantum physics to a cat. Hilariously impossible, right? But here's a thought that tickles the intellect. What if we could make education in America not just great, but outstanding? And we could do this by removing its biggest hurdle. Spoiler alert, I'm talking about waving goodbye to the Department of Education. Stick around for a ride that promises more twists and turns than your average government form. Hey there, fellow patriots and seekers of truth. This is Proclaim Liberty, your guide through the murky waters of government overreach and advocate for the sweet taste of personal responsibility. Today, we're embarking on an adventurous quest, armed with wit and wisdom, as we tackle a question that might just stir the pot. What if we could make education great again by getting rid of its biggest obstacle? Yes, you read that right. We're diving into the deep end to explore why abolishing the Department of Education might not be as far-fetched as it sounds, but actually, this is what America needs to reclaim its educational prowess. So, buckle up. Let's peel back the layers of bureaucracy together and rediscover what makes learning truly meaningful. So, there's a historical headache, right? Ever tried to get a straight answer out of a government department? What does that look like? Isn't it like trying to nail jelly to the wall? Now, imagine an entire department dedicated to education. That's right. I'm talking about the Department of Education, a beacon of hope established back in 79. Now, that's 1979, not 1879, though you'd hardly notice the difference given its pace. This behemoth has grown more bloated than your Uncle Jerry after Thanksgiving dinner while delivering on quality education with all the speed and grace of a tortoise on sedatives. Now, let's talk about budgets. If we stacked every dollar spent on it, we could probably build a staircase to Mars and still have enough left over for a decent space picnic. Now, here's where we have to pivot from laughing at this tragedy to something serious and radically more beautiful. Abolishing the Department of Education. Far from being anarchic musings, envision this as decentralizing power back into the hands of those who really know our kids and communities, local schools and parents. So what if instead of a one-size-fits-all federal regulations curricula, what if it was tailored by those on the front lines? Imagine empowering educators and families to adapt learning environments conducive not just to passing tests, but to actually kindling flames of curiosity and innovation in our youth. I believe there's a movie that reminds me of this, and that movie is called Radical. Unshackled schools, folks, that's what I'm talking about. The renaissance that we need. Freeing schools from federal chains doesn't mean tossing standards out the window. Rather, it opens doors for programs pulsating with life because they're built around real community needs. Picture this. Teachers with autonomy reigniting their passion for teaching because they're no longer checkbox ticking automations, but they're artisans sculpting future minds equipped for challenges ahead. Students would transform too. No longer passive receivers awaiting information transfer, but active participants blazing trails through learning landscapes designed specifically for them and by people who truly get them. You see, time does not permit me to let you know that the hijacking of our education system was actually done by people who don't really like this country. But I digress. Folks, we can laugh all the way to enlightenment. Surely history teaches us something here. Time and time again, it shows us when governance lightens up, and think about the Renaissance or the Industrial Revolution. When governance lightens up, human creativity flourishes like teenage boys' ambitions once they discover deodorant actually works wonders. So why then do we shackle Such primal forces under layers and layers of red tape thicker than lasagna sheets at an Italian grandma showdown. Here lies untapped potential for educational revolution powered not by bureaucrats, but imagination rich local initiatives ready only if unchained. Listen, we gotta go. But in wrapping up these grand dreams or impending realities, abolishing the Department of Education stands less as political banter and more as rekindling America's educational spirit rooted deeply in freedom. As natural yet revolutionary today as tea parties seemed once upon Boston harbors, letting this laughter guide us away from despair over current systems into fostering environments where learning equates growth, not grueling drills. Folks, this presents more than hopeful skies. It unveils stairways leading children towards stars themselves. Folks, if you had fun with this, I want you to do me a favor. Like, share, and subscribe so that I can get even more of this real live communication, information, and education so that people can clearly think for themselves. God bless you and talk soon.